Over my 15 years as a teacher and then literacy specialist, I've watched the same pattern play out in classroom after classroom. Teachers use guided reading, and this is actually how I was taught how to teach reading in Teachers College. When guided reading happens, kids seem engaged and everyone thinks it's working, until suddenly around the second or third grade, those same kids hit a wall. They can't decode multisyllabic words, their comprehension breaks down, and everyone's confused because they were reading at level for years. Now here's what I've learned. Guided reading might be the single biggest thing holding students back from becoming real readers. I know, that's bold. But today I'm breaking it down with evidence and not emotion. If you're a parent or a teacher questioning why kids are struggling even after years of leveled groups in guided reading, then this video is for you. Let's start with what guided reading actually looks like in most classrooms. Typically, students are grouped by reading level. They read books at their level in small groups, and the teacher supports them with prompting strategies. Sounds great, right? Personalized instruction, just right books, and also targeted support. But there's a problem, and it starts with how kids are taught to approach unknown words. And before I show you what the research says, there's something most teachers aren't told in their training, and it changes everything. In most guided reading lessons, kids are taught multiple cueing strategies, which is really just another word for guessing. You know the prompts. Look at the picture. What would make sense? Skip the word and come back to it. Does it look right? These strategies teach kids to avoid decoding. They're not reading the word, they're making the best guess based on context. For some kids, that kind of works, but for struggling readers, for dyslexic kids, for students with limited vocabulary or background knowledge, that's a train wreck. Because eventually, when the pictures go away and the texts get harder, those strategies stop working, and the guessing game falls apart. Drop a comment if you've seen this happen in your classroom or with your own child. And now here's where the research gets clear. Study after study shows that kids who receive explicit phonics instruction outperform kids in guided reading programs. The National Reading Panel reviewed over 100,000 studies and concluded that systematic phonics instruction is significantly more effective than non-systematic or non-phonics instruction. More recently, a 2020 report from the Institute of Education Sciences found that the students taught with structured literacy showed stronger gains in decoding and comprehension than those taught with leveled texts and cueing. So here's the deal. Science supports phonics, science does not support multiple cueing. Explicit instruction works, guided guessing does not. So if the research is clear, why do so many schools still use guided reading? You might be thinking, but my kids like guided reading. They're reading books at their level, they're engaged. Of course they are. The books are easy, the stories are predictable, the pictures do most of the work. But here's what I've seen again and again in real classrooms. Those kids stall out around second or third grade. They struggle to decode multisyllabic words, their comprehension breaks down without pictures, and they get labeled as low, when in fact they just weren't taught properly. This isn't a child problem, it's an instructional design problem. So what should we be doing instead? It's called structured literacy, and it's grounded in the science of reading, and it completely flips the script. Instead of guessing, students are taught to break words into sounds, connect sounds to letters, blend and decode new words, and map words to memory through repeated correct exposure. They read decodable texts, not leveled books, that actually match the phonics skills they've learned. There are no pictures doing the work, no sentence patterns giving it away, just real reading, sound by sound, word by word. And when you teach this way, the results are incredible. I've worked with dozens of families and classrooms making this switch. In my 15 years as a teacher and literacy specialist, I've seen kids who were labeled as behind start to actually catch up fast. Confidence grows, comprehension improves, because now they're not faking it, they're really reading. I actually have a full video that breaks down exactly how to implement structured literacy in your own classroom or at home, and why it works so much better than guided reading. I'll link it right here so you can watch it right after this one. Listen, if you've got a child struggling with reading, then hear this. It's not because they're lazy, it's not because they're not trying enough, it's because they haven't been taught the right way. And if you're a teacher, This is also not your fault. Most of us were never taught structured literacy in Teachers College, myself included. We were trained in guided reading, and we did what we were told. But now we know better, so we can do better. So here's what I want you to do. Parents, ask your school one question. What phonics programs are you using? That one question changes everything. Teachers, audit your small groups. Are kids actually decoding or are they guessing? Administrators, stop investing in leveled libraries and start investing in decodable readers. And if you're ready to make the switch from guided reading to structured literacy, I've linked a free complete unit below. Lesson plans for an entire week ready to go. Grab it before you close this video. Want to go deeper? My full teaching reading step-by-step playlist is on screen right now. Click it and keep learning with me. If this video challenged your thinking, then hit like. Subscribe for more science of reading strategies and tell me in the comments. Have you seen guided reading fall apart in your classroom? Thanks for being here. We're building real readers together.